Morning, Eco Gypsy. Well, that was a wild one. This is quite literally the morning after the night before a Storm Claudio, or whatever the name was, came through here. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So I'm just going to walk around the yard and see what damage has been done. Shocked the greenhouse is still there. I thought that was going last night. That's just something we're going to have to address. I'm trying to avoid putting tarpaulin up because of the flapping and noise it makes, but that ain't good. That's all our wood basically soaking wet, so I'll have to get a tilt up or something over the front of the wood store. God knows what the state of the roads are, but that is one night's worth of rain here off a tiny little roof. So good for the water tanks, because we'll be full, that is for sure. Let's see what else is we kind of learnt over the years just to secure stuff down now and keep our heads down. Plenty of wind, turbine's still zipping around pretty good. They took a lot of power in, that is for sure. A few things hanging off, broken. Yeah, I'd like to think we've learnt our lesson over the years, and we just tend to batten everything down now and make sure nothing's flying about too much in the yard. I have spent evenings here trying to tie bits of tarpaulin down, and it's just a nightmare. So now we just batten the hatches, get the burner lit, and wait it out. It was quite wild here last night, and I don't know, my regular viewers will probably know I live very close to the sea, so we're just going to go down there now and check the levels. But when we get weather, it blows straight in off the sea, and we haven't got a massive amount of cover here, so it's pretty severe. I mean, you don't notice it so much living in a house, but you just turn the heating up and wait it out. But here with a tin roof, Jesus, I thought I was going to rip off last night, and you're shouting at each other to hear each other. It was quite mad. Anyway, we're going to have a look at the sea levels. We're going to check what the flood and damage is in the village, and then I'm going to head over to the woods and see what trees we've got down. Hopefully not too much damage down there. So and that's before, and then we've got to get to work and see what stock I've got left, what isn't blown away. So off-grid living, baby. Well, actually I've seen it a lot worse, so we'll have a little look up on the beach in case some galleon or something's swept up there and it's full of gold bars. But there's a bit of water laid about, but I've seen it a lot worse than this. Well, good news is the old floodgates aren't shut, so it can't be that bad. You know, when these top gates are shut, you know you're in for it. Our tide's out. Yeah, she's raging, but I think it's worse when the spring tides and the sea's pushing inwards, and then you've got the high spring tides and you can hear the wind obviously. But took a lot of sand away. So this area here is normally covered in sand. Morning. Still optimism with the old sauna. People are still going to come down and get a sauna, lunatics. Yeah. This is the beautiful East Coast. That's why I'm not as popular in the winter as I am in the summer. I'm not offended. Right, let's go up the woods and see what the damage is up there. I don't know if it's just luck or whether it's timing or whether the council are actually seeing a bit of sense and have done all these ditches recently, last week, which is normally this back road is completely flooded, but as you can see down there the water's holding, but it's good job there for once. That is where we used to live, down there where that trailer is, in them woods. And the winter we spent there was mental. I mean, it's making this look like child's play, and it was flooded right through into the fields. So thankfully the kids were little, and it was all a big adventure. But yeah, they were mad times. So yeah, I'm done better than I was then. All that wind, and I still haven't blown that bloody branch down. People might remember this from the Shepherd's Hut video. That is a hang up there. Look at that. It's barely hanging on. That's still bloody there. I'd have thought that had blown off. And saying on the news we got a month's worth of rain in one night. It's still raining now, so 2 inches of rain. And then we've got freezing temperatures coming next week, so better get all the antifreeze in all the vehicles and get ready for that. The joys of living in England. Another one there, it's just snapped off the top. We'll have to get up there and take that off. That's now coming across the track. But early signs, fingers crossed, don't look too bad. It's weird, the contrast. I was walking down here in the summer in my shorts and my t-shirt, trainers on, and the woods were all blooming and green, and that was absolutely joyous down there. We spent a bit of time down. It was really, really nice. And the contrast how it is at the minute is proper winter, but it is November, so I suppose on that side of things we've done pretty well. It doesn't look like there's anything down this side. Just have a quick walk up to the top, and I better get to work and see what damage is there. Might be one over at the back. Dare I say it, I think we might have got away with that. It doesn't look like there's anything new down. A few leaners. That one's fairly probably going to go soon enough. The trouble is you get the wet and then the wind, and that does tend to pull them over. So, but the deers haven't been too keen on my tree so far. So hopefully bit of wet will do them good. I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised. This is the bit of the old broad that runs out the back of where I work, and this is actually connected to the Broads, and this tidal, it's high, it is very high, but it isn't as high as it has been. And this here is my drainage pipe, which is draining water out of the yard, and it's still below the surface. Got a bit of water in the pond, but again that's been worse than that, so I think all in all we've done alright in comparison to other parts of the country where they've had it really hard. So yeah, when we were laid in our beds last night, listening to the rain pelting down, I thought, oh, we're going to end up getting blown in the sea. But all in all, not too bad. We've had a lot worse. It is November, this is England, you have to expect a bit of bad weather in the seasons, and this off-grid living isn't all Instagram videos and tops off and sunshine, so there is another side to it, and this is it. Anyway, thanks to everyone for watching as usual. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Hope you're enjoying the channel, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.